I don't know how to start this. I can't believe I'm doing this. Well, I can believe I'm doing this since I'm getting it done and out of the way. So, Fire Emblem Three Houses. This is a game that released July 2019. This game is nearly 3 years old. Oh, my voice is already giving out. And my playthrough of this game still isn't done. It's been going on and off for the past 3 years now. But almost. A few months it'll be 3 years. I actually pulled up the playlist here of our Fire Emblem Three Houses playlist. So, yeah, this released July 26, 2019, this game. I played it on release day, and we did our very first playthrough of the Black Eagles route from July 26, 2019 to August 18th, 2019, which was parts 1 to 60, where I did the Black Eagles Academy route on Hard Classic. Then, I did my Blue Lions playthrough, which was freaking August 30th, 2019 to November 10th, 2019, and that was part 61 to 165, which is already an insanely long length for our freaking playthrough. That was a point when Fire Emblem Three Houses was still pretty new, and I was like really into it as like a brand new game. And I had a lot of fun with my first playthrough. I freaking loved it on my first playthrough. Second playthrough, I still had a lot of fun, but I was feeling a little bit of the the repetitiveness is starting to get to me a little bit. The freaking DLC released the following year, and in February 2020, we wound up doing the Ashen Wolves DLC on Hard Classic, which was parts 166 to parts 175, and honestly, that was a lot of fun. I actually really liked the Ashen Wolves DLC of this game. That was really good. And then, finally, after, so, it was February 2020 where we did that. So then, after a couple months break, we finally started playthrough number 3, which was the Golden Deer route on Madden Classic, since that was finally a game mode that existed. And I went April 10th, 2020 to July 21st, 2020, which went up to part 226 apparently. And I got so freaking fed up with the game and its repetitiveness and getting so bored out of my mind since it was my third playthrough that I freaking took a half-a-year break. So after touching the game last on July 21st, 2020, I finally came back to my third playthrough on the 9th of January 2021, and I freaking bum rushed it and beat the third playthrough on February 19th, 2021. There is one more route. There are 4 routes in this game, and I still haven't done the 4th, and it's nearly 3 years later. It's 2.5 years later since it came out, and I wasn't even 100% certain if I was ever going to do this. So now it's a little bit over another half a year later since no, I freaking misread. I misread the freaking thingamabob. When we finished off playthrough 3, it was February 19th, 2021. The current date of streaming this is the 5th of February 2022 is what today is. It has been almost a year since I last streamed this game. This is currently, what freaking episode is this now? This is freaking, this would be part 279. This is stream 66. This is the 66th time I've done a dedicated session of Three Houses on this channel. I have, how many hours do I have in this game now? 330! Part of me was thinking about not even getting, like, this 4th playthrough done, honestly, and just saying, like, I'm done, I'm not coming back to this game. But with me, when we start a game on this channel, like 99% of games we start on this channel, we finish through to the end. We always see it through. So even though this entire playthrough is gonna be taking me like 3 years on and off at the end of the day, I'll have it done, and nobody is ever gonna ask me for freaking Fire Emblem Three Houses content more ever again. Oh my goodness, it's been forever since I've seen this game. What am I doing? But yeah, anyway, hello Mortis, hope you're doing well today. We attempt to do a full playthrough of Three Houses. Like the DLC more than the base game. Yeah, I really like the DLC. The DLC was really fun. So, the thing about this game here is there are 3 main routes. There's the Black Eagles, the Blue Lions, and the Golden Deer. And we've technically done all 3 of those. But, for whatever reason, they thought it would be a good idea to split the Black Eagles route into 2 different routes partway through. And I mean, all these stories are basically the same story during the first half anyway, is a thing, during the first like 40 to 50 hours or whatever the heck. But the thing, but they were always like a little bit different. So, you know, you can't resume from like just the midpoint or like the point where, you know, the time skip happens and yada yada, anything like that. But in the case of the Black Eagles, where its route splits is like right before the time skip. And I was originally planning on doing like, you know, my first 2 hard classic playthroughs because, you know, that was the hardest difficulty that existed at the time. And then I did Maddening Classic because that was the hardest difficulty that existed at the time, my 3rd playthrough. And I was originally planning on doing like, oh, let's do the final route on like Maddening Classic and make it extra hard by like making a flaw training challenge thing or something like that. I'm so done with this game. I just want it done. I don't care what it takes. I'm just getting this series done, and I never have to worry about Fire Emblem Three Houses ever again. So, what I did, because the Black Eagles route splits partway through, and we've technically seen the first half of the Black Eagles route anyway with the very first playthrough, I started a normal, casual playthrough. I've literally never played this game on normal mode on my own time. When was the last time I played the save file? I wonder if it doesn't show that. But for several months, on and off, after I completed this playthrough right here of our Golden Deer Maddening Classic save file, after 270 hours, I put in another at least 20 hours, just to get up to the point right before it splits in the Black Eagles, and it's just on normal casual. And it is really easy, quite frankly. And I don't care. I've gotten more than enough challenge out of this game after 278 parts of doing the hardest difficulties that existed at the time. So I just want to do normal casual and get this done. I haven't actually touched this save file for several months. I prepared this save file on and off over the course of several months for a while after this playthrough was done. And I probably haven't touched this save file for like about half a year or something like that. I've had it prepared for a while, but I didn't have myself mentally prepared to continue with this until now. I didn't have space in my game schedule to do so. I just want this done. This is easily going to be a 300-part series by the time that we're done with it. Anybody that does want a freaking recap of the story up to this point for the Black Eagles route, just watch freaking parts 1 to... What does it go until? I have the playlist over here for what it is. Parts 1 to 30-ish or something like that is around the route split. Let's see here in the playlist. Part 32 is where it's at. So parts 1 to 32 in this series is the Black Eagles route up to this point. So because we've already done this in parts 1 to 32, I figure there's no point doing it again. I freaking tried out new costumes here that were added later down the line. We went with I think it was male Byleth in the first playthrough, female Byleth in the second playthrough, male Byleth in the third playthrough, so we're back to female Byleth in the fourth playthrough. What mission is this? Oh, maybe I take that back about to 32. That actually goes up to 29, because I actually left the chapter where, it looks like I left us at the chapter where you get like the green hair and the sort of creator powers up and stuff like that is where I left us at. Because I think it's the next month that the thing splits off, so this is where I left myself at, or something. Okay, yeah, let's do that. So this is, you can continue from this in place of part 30 if anyone's specifically interested in the Black Eagles Empire route, I guess. My goodness, this series is so convoluted. I just want it done, and I want to forget about it. I have no idea what my builds or setups are. It's freaking, it's normal casual. Who cares? It's gonna be easy peasy. But yeah, and I do appreciate that there, Mortis. I do greatly appreciate that. Yeah, my overall perspective on this game was like, after my first playthrough, I loved it. After my second playthrough, a little bit of the slog was setting in, and I was getting a little bit bored, and it was feeling a little bit repetitive. And, but I still mostly enjoyed it. Freaking playthrough number 3 is where I genuinely lost my mind. Is what happened there. That's where I freaking went off the edge onto the brink of insanity. It's so weird coming back to this. Again, I have not touched this save file for like half a year, and we're kind of starting right in the middle of the story here because screw doing it over from the beginning of the game again. I'm honestly tempted to skip this cutscene. Is the thing. Because apparently the Black Eagles Empire route is the shortest route in the game. There's only 6 chapters after the time skip. So yeah, the freaking Desert Dragon Pain. Oh my good gracious. I feel like that's taking difficulty to a whole nother level. Like, at least since the 3rd playthrough that we did take a little bit of a break from this game, considering it's literally a year later now. Flash Battalion. Look at this. Look how much gold I have. What the hell? Okay, sure. I have a lot of gold, apparently. I don't know how that happened, but it did. Who do I have, anyway? So I recruited some dudos for just like getting their mission items, I guess, but I haven't recruited anyone like special or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know if I'd recruit any students. I'm kind of beyond caring. So this is the map where you freaking go do the thing where Bob, you get your Sword of the Creator powered up. Byleth chooses to join Smash or whatever the heck. Yeah, freaking Dark Eater Madeir. I'd rather face Dark Eater Madeir than that one Dark Souls 3 or that one Fire Emblem Three Houses map again. Dark Eater Madeir is from Dark Souls 3. I don't know what things are sometimes. I'd rather face Dark Eater Madeir from Dark Souls 3 again than freaking, you know, than freaking doing another playthrough of this game, honestly. But here I am doing this again. Honestly, part of me kind of feels like I would rather continue with my freaking Pokemon Brilliant Diamond playthrough than do another playthrough of this. Is that true? Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not now that I think about it. But it's close. It is close. How do I play this game again? I'm getting this done. And freaking everybody that like tuned into this channel for the Three Houses content can be like super satisfied that I finish off the Fire Emblem Three Houses content by the time that this is done with. Freaking rejoice! Rejoice, anybody that enjoyed this. I doubt that anybody freaking sat through 278 episodes, though. If anybody has, and just checked out the freaking series up to this point, freaking kudos for not getting bored to the same extent that I did making said 278 episodes. Like, my goodness, what class am I right now? What even am I? Oh, I'm mercenary, apparently. Where's the Sword of the Creator? I think I just have it in the, convoy or something. This is freaking normal casual. Why am I thinking about things? I shouldn't have to think about things. I just do it and then win, right? Is probably what happens. This is like super easy peasy mode. Anyway, since it's been a year since we last actually, you know, covered this game on the channel, after taking a bit of a break from it, we actually took a bit of a break from Three Houses with Fire Emblem Fates. We did Birthright Lunatic Classic, and that was honestly so much freaking fun. I actually had such a blast doing that playthrough of Fates, and I feel like, I think I have a rough idea of what the Fire Emblem situation is gonna be like for this year. Right now, in like the beginning of 2022, we're doing Three Houses here and doing the final route. I'm just gonna bum rush this in like a few streams, hopefully, and get it done with. This is normal casual, and like the second half of the shortest route in the game. So like, this should be easy peasy, right? My misery shouldn't last long, I hope. Oh, I have combat animations off. I guess that makes sense if I was just like mindlessly getting up to this point while watching YouTube, essentially, or doing literally anything else, essentially. We can go ahead and turn the combat animations on, is what we can do. Yeah, let's see here. Combat animations on. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with Birthright Lunatic Classic. That was actually a really good time. That was a real big blast right there. Sure, go ahead and do this, Caspar. Bonk, do the thing. Wow, I feel like you're... How do I best describe what the feeling is like coming back to this game? Feels like you're... It feels kind of like I would when I come back to like one of the Atari Roller Coaster Tycoon games that I despise. Yeah, there was a really good time with Fates there. And I do really look forward to the next time that we do the next route of Fates, because the next route that we'll have of Fates is gonna be, you know, Conquest Lunatic Classic is the thing, and that's gonna be a real treat right there. I'm really looking forward to that. That's probably one of the playthroughs that I've like most looked forward to doing on this channel, like at all, honestly. So I was honestly thinking for a little while about doing it before the final route with Three Houses, but I was like, you know, Fates Conquest Lunatic Classic is gonna be so dang fun. Let's just like save it for later, so it's like you're doing the meal of like food that you're picky about and don't really like all that much first and foremost, and then you're doing like dessert second, aka Fates Lunatic Classic. So that's what we're doing here, essentially. That's what we're doing here. We're saving the more fun experience for later, because I am freaking going crazy over this. Whose range is that? Is that the archer? Oh, you have 3 range there. Do I have any archers? I have Bernie. Are you a sniper? I don't know. Let's just put you here and see what happens, I guess. And then end turn. I probably don't even really need to strategize here. I actually, now that I think about it, I think how I developed this save file is I think I did every map in auto mode. I think that's how easy this game difficulty is. I think I literally auto moded every map. What if I auto mode this? I'm gonna, hold on, let's see, options. How do you do auto mode again? There's like a quick button for auto battle. Charge. Sure, freaking fight for me. I'm just gonna sit back and watch. I don't want to play this game anymore. I'm a few minutes in, and after, you know, 278 parts of freaking losing my mind, I already don't want to play the game anymore. I'm just gonna watch and let it play itself. That sounds like a good idea to me. Oh, sure, meteor that random guy. Screw this guy in particular, I guess. But yeah, yeah, it probably would have happened a lot sooner if you didn't get me into Dark Souls and freaking Guzma didn't get me into the Tales of series. Because we wound up doing in 2020 the entire Dark Souls trilogy, and we wound up doing freaking Tales of Vesperia and Tales of Arise. Both of those things are like pretty equal in length. I'd say that Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 took me about the same time as Tales of Vesperia and Tales of Arise. Maybe Tales of Vesperia and Arise was even a little bit longer than that, because those are kind of long games there. Was the thing. I had a lot of fun with a lot of games in 2020. I'm actually really looking forward to a lot of games that we have planned out in 2022. This is kind of one of the games I despise getting to in 2022 because of how much it's driven me to the brink of insanity. With how much I put into it. I have literally one of, if not the longest freaking Fire Emblem Three Houses series on YouTube. I've looked it up, and there's like one playlist that I found that has more parts, more episodes than I do. But they're like 20 minutes to half an hour. My episodes would typically be like an hour each average, is the thing. So in terms of runtime, I literally have one of, if not the longest Fire Emblem Three Houses series on YouTube. If that doesn't express my driven to the brink of insanity, I don't know what does. And to think, even after developing one of the longest series on this game on the entire platform, I still haven't seen the entire story. That's how ludicrous this game is in like how it expects you to get the full story, and I really hate that. This game has a lot of cool things about it. It's kind of like we've been playing Legends Arceus recently, and it's kind of like Legends Arceus where there's like a lot good about it. There's a lot really good about it, quite frankly. But I'm just so blinded to the stuff that's good about this game at this point because of how much I've been driven to the brink of insanity. I could have appreciated the really good parts of it a lot more in my first and second playthroughs, but this game has a lot of good to it, but we're not going to be expressing a whole lot of that in this playthrough because I'm just losing my mind. But let's see here. Yeah, I don't know how you can do like 8 playthroughs there of what freaking any game really. I'm just gonna let this game play itself. I'm beyond caring already. But yeah, anyway, there's a lot of games I want to get to for 2022, and there's a lot of things that I was really looking forward to getting to for this year of 2022. This is not one of them. This is one of the things I wanted to get done, just so that it's done, and I freaking never have to worry about Three Houses, you know, being on the backlog like it has been for the past 3 years. 3 years. It was like that freaking episode of SpongeBob where Mr. Krabs gets the ability to speak to his money, and his money's constantly like, spend us, spend us. Except it was Fire Emblem Three Houses like, finish us, finish us. Your playthrough isn't done. You still don't have the full story after nearly 300 parts. It's so ridiculous. Anyway, but yeah, there was a lot of stuff that was delayed because of COVID stuff, so a lot of cool things are coming out in this year. Why is Ferdinand an armored knight? When did I do that? I actually have no idea, but that's a thing I did. Also, this isn't going to be like perfectly synced up to the progress that we had at this point in my first playthrough, like before the split. Like, I have no idea what support conversations I had unlocked in my initial playthrough, and you know, what support conversations were left to do, and I do not care to take the time to look into it and find out. Freaking, it doesn't matter. Anybody that wants the full support conversations can just look it up like as direct cutscenes on YouTube rather than skimming through this, what will probably wind up being a 300-part series by the time that it's done, which is absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, I do have a plan when it comes to like a lot of games I want to cover on this channel during 2022, and that includes what Fire Emblem related content I want to do during 2022. So during this smidge here where we're doing like, you know, a bunch of Pokemon stuff with the last few episodes of BDSP, and you know, we're actively doing Explorers of Sky and Pokemon Legends Arceus right now. I wanted to freaking put something new and different in that like wouldn't take super long, because like at the end of this month is when Elden Ring comes out, and shortly after that is when Project Triangle Strategy releases, or just Triangle Strategy as it's called nowadays. So I was like, oh, the last route of Fire Emblem Three Houses, which I already have a save file set up to specifically bum rush on the easiest difficulty. Let's do that. I can cram that in February before something like Elden Ring releases, right? Probably. We'll see. We'll see. I'll certainly try my best and see what happens there. I'm literally just gonna keep on auto-moding. Just screw it. I'm literally just gonna keep on doing that. So yeah, for this month of February, we're doing Fire Emblem Three Houses and getting this done with, and then it's done with forever, I guess. In March, we're going to be doing Triangle Strategy, as I was just mentioning, as one of the games coming out then. My goodness, get one shot. Where Triangle Strategy is a Square Enix game that's kind of like the spiritual successor to Octopath Traveler, and it's handled like Fire Emblem, where Octopath Traveler, both Triangle Strategy and Octopath Traveler are handled in the HE2D style. I don't care about leaving my camera on for this cutscene. We've seen it freaking 3 times already in this series, so I don't care at this point. So I'm just gonna freaking interrupt it to willy-nilly, is the thing. But yeah, so while Octopath Traveler was like a classic RPG of like 4 party members and turn-based combat like that against enemies, Triangle Strategy is more like Fire Emblem of tactically moving your units around a map. So I'm gonna count that as like close enough to Fire Emblem related content on the channel for this year. So this, then Triangle Strategy for a while, because it's similar enough to Fire Emblem, I guess, so that'll count as like similar enough to Fire Emblem content. And then sometime after Triangle Strategy is done, I would like to do Conquest the Limited Classic this year. And then 2023 might be Conquest Revelations. Conquest. Fates Revelations Limited Classic. This year, Fates Conquest Limited Classic. And next year, Fates Revelations Limited Classic. To get that done. So that would, like Three Houses, I guess that would mean that that would be a game that would take 3 years as well. But not because of me getting fed up with it and needing to take breaks. Just because of like me having fun with it and genuinely wanting to space out like the different playthroughs, and you know, the routes of freaking Fates are actually substantially different. Like, even if the story of Fire Emblem Fates sucks, at least the routes are significantly different and have like completely different play styles and like all the stuff I outlined in my Fire Emblem Three Houses video essay, you know, all that stuff. So I'm Fire Emblem Conquest, Fates Conquest Limited Classic is probably my favorite experience in the Fire Emblem series gameplay-wise, so I'm really, really looking forward to that. And when we start that in 2022, we'll probably be on, like, you know, a time when I feel like adding a new game that's, like, gonna be a lot of fun. Maybe if there's a lot of other games going on that I'm not having fun with, and I want something to add to the schedule that I would be having fun with, maybe, or something. I think most of the games I plan on playing for 2022 are things I should be having a lot of fun with. Hopefully, like, it wouldn't be situations like Pokemon BDSP where it's just freaking Garbo and whatnot. But yeah, that's a whole lot to get through right there. To get through right there, Mortis. I don't know why he suddenly turns so blue with his freaking hands and staff when he does that, but he does, and whatnot. And he's got his freaking massive head thingamabob. Whoa. Again, this is so weird because, you know, when I was developing this save file up to this point, it was half a year ago, and it was with like audio off, auto mode only, and you know, watching YouTube or doing like things that are actually kind of more productive on this side. So this really is like jumping right into the middle of a story, but we've gotten through this part of the story 3 times already, so there's literally no point in doing it from the very, very beginning again. Like, I think I'd rather buy WinRAR than play this from the very beginning again, quite frankly, so... So there's that. Oh, man. So, maybe I should have freaking done this chapter when I was developing this save file and just, had the next one start with, you know, the thingamabob where, you know, it's a split anyway. Because apparently the next chapter is where you get to choose if you want to go with Edelgard, so you can unlock the option to do the Empire route, which I didn't do on the first playthrough, and we're doing this time, just to get it done and whatnot. You fool! I know. What are you thinking, making freaking 279 parts of one game? Like... This has easily been my longest single game playthrough I've ever done on this channel. Like, it wouldn't be my longest single playthrough of a single game I've done on this channel. Like, that would probably have to go to, I think Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition was 120 parts or something like that. Tales of Arise was like 130 or something like that. Something or other. And I think my longest playthrough of Three Houses, of a single playthrough, was 105 parts, being my Blue Lions playthrough. But as a whole, this is freaking insane. I never want to put this many hours into like any other game on this channel, unless it's like multiplayer. I probably put freaking over that amount of time into Smash Ultimate on this channel, slash Smash in general. But what choice? Whoa!
Do you recall your father's diary?
I actually don't. I'm gonna be honest.
You said you were a child who never cried.
Oh, now I
and
do.
laughed. I think I am the
Man.
one to blame.
Yeah, there's definitely a reason why I needed to take a half-a-year break from this game, literally in the middle of playthrough 3, smack dab in the middle, and just didn't have the motivation to come back to it. But because we're playing this on the easiest difficulty, and I should just be able to, you know, turn off my brain to play the game now, slash just put it in auto mode and just watch things play out, this playthrough can just be us talking about things and like chilling while the game plays itself. I'm down for that being playthrough 4 here, and that being the excuse for, like, I have a playthrough of all 4 routes of Fire Emblem Three Houses done, and then Fire Emblem Three Houses is done on the channel until the end of time, and I never have to come back to it ever again. Nobody can ask me for Three Houses content ever again. I'm down for this freaking playthrough just being a time of the game playing itself, and us just, like, chatting and chilling and stuff. Like, I guess I would still, you know, turn off my camera and stuff during new cutscenes that are new to this route and stuff. But it'd be mostly just watching and whatnot. But yeah, Three Houses made you believe that multiple routes in Fire Emblem is a bad idea. I feel like multiple routes has potential in a Fire Emblem game. Like, I really like the way the multiple routes were handled in Fates, apart from the fact that, you know, they were literally other DLCs that you had to install, and you basically had to pay for, you know, two full games there for, like, all 3 routes and whatnot. And there was additional DLC on top of that, so you're probably paying for, like, 4 or something, or not 4, probably like 3 or something 3DS games at the end of the day, if you want all 3 routes and all DLC of Fire Emblem Fates. And they didn't even localize all the DLC, which was interesting. Yeah, like those reaction channels who just watch videos except you made the cut. Yeah, let's do freaking that for this playthrough or something. That's what we can do. Sure, why not? That's what we can do there. So yeah, if you get past freaking the kind of not so good way that it was sold with Fates, and the fact that the story overall of Fates sucks, and you know, the multiple routes don't really develop it in exactly the best way. I do like how the multiple routes of Fates all have, like, you know, different play styles, different units that you have and whatnot. Like, you have different students here in Fire Emblem Three Houses depending on what class you choose, but they all fit into, like, the same generic range of, like, niches anyway. There's no, like, completely different play styles and classes like you'd have in Fates for different routes and whatnot. That makes it actually different play styles, which is why I really look forward to playing Fates Conquest Lunatic Classic. Part of me on it, there's a small part of me that's just like, shut down the Fire Emblem Three Houses, close it down, change my mind, this is canceled, let's go play some Fire Emblem Fates, is what I'm honestly kind of tempted to do there. But yeah, I don't know if we're gonna do more Fire Emblem this year than this Triangle Strategy, which technically isn't Fire Emblem, and Fates Conquest Lunatic Classic. But that is more than plenty enough for, like, Fire Emblem on the channel for the year, I feel like. And we have a whole bunch of other games planned that I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get through all the games I've planned for 2022 and whatnot. Yeah, I really like the gameplay for the different routes. And it had, like, very different music for the different routes, Fire Emblem Fates as well. Like, there is some different themes for different routes in this, like, most notably the final boss themes. There might be 1 or 2 different map themes depending on the route. Only during the second half, though. And the fact that you literally have to put in, like, 40 to 50 hours before you can, you know, get to the point where the route splits and becomes different things to experience parts of the plot that you haven't seen yet is absolutely ridiculous. The fact that this save file that I developed on the easiest difficulty and bum rushing it in auto mode took 20 hours when I was going through it, like, as fast as I could, freaking is absolutely ridiculous, you know? Oh yeah, it's time to join Smash. It's that part of the thingamabob. It's time to make everybody salty that Byleth got into Smash. I actually really like playing Byleth in Smash. She's really fun. One of the characters I wish I was better at, but I'm not. Wow, my Sword of the Creator is buffed up, and I think it's in the convoy. I legitimately think I left it in the convoy. Is the thing. Yeah, I got green hair now. Isn't that crazy? In the darkness of Zaros, this should be impossible. The only being that can withstand that darkness is, unless I dispose of you myself. I may never have the chance to send you back there. Oh no! At least I'll be enjoying the music of this game here. At least I'll be enjoying the music as we go through it. Speaking of like reacting to stuff, I know that there were some parts of the freaking third playthrough where during like some bits of grinding, I would literally pull up like ongoing Nintendo Directs of the time and just like watch the Nintendo Directs on stream with like reactions while while just grinding in that. I was like, we shouldn't have to do any grinding in this file because it's freaking normal casual. But yeah, let's see here. Don't know if this is a hot take, but Fates is better art style than Three Houses, and it's not even close. I can agree when it comes to the character portraits and whatnot. In terms of, you know what, maybe overall as well. Now when I think about like the classes and the looks for the classes, the way that Fates designed its classes, especially with like the kind of differences in like, you know, cultural differences with Hoshido and Nor, that was really cool. Freaking Fates is such a good game in almost every way except for story. It's crazy. Imagine if story in Fates was actually good. That game would be a freaking masterpiece. Too bad it's not. Oh well. I'm literally just gonna let this game play itself. Just gonna let this game play itself. The portraits, got you. Yeah, I really like the Fates portraits. Fun fact, there's like, you can actually, if you're playing it on emulator, which I would have to be there because I don't have a 3DS capture card. Well, I can stream my 3DS to my computer, but it's like weird and low quality and low frame rate. So I typically just play it on PC on emulator unless I need to use online stuff specifically, in which case I'll transfer my save to my 3DS and do it from there. When it comes to the freaking emulation on PC, I almost said recently found out. I've known about this for a while now that I think about it. I just haven't had the chance to talk about it for a while. Apparently, you can actually upload like custom portraits if you want. So if I really wanted to for like the Fates playthrough, I could potentially get like an artist, like I could commission some artist to make like a portrait that looks more like me and literally just upload it in place of Corrin, like if I really wanted to. That's technically an option. And it's something that I've seen some people do. It's like a pretty niche kind of thing, but it is technically a thing that's possible and might be fun to do to like spice things up and do something different. Maybe maybe it's something that would be discussed in like the Discord server a decent bit before doing that playthrough to see if it's something that people might be interested in to help like spice things up a little bit. And freaking Karen in a Burger King outfit, freaking imagine it. Or he's just like got like a freaking manager badge or something like that. And well, my goodness, the possibilities though. The possibilities there though. This stream has become us talking about how Fates is better. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this game is better than Fates in several ways, but in ways that I am semi-blinded to now at how this game has driven me to the brink of insanity. Like, Fates has frustrated me with its bad story, but at least it hasn't driven me insane with how, like, freaking monotonous its gameplay is. Like, at least in Fates, you can just go from, like, one story chapter to another and take the game at literally whatever pace you want to take it at. Unlike this game where it's like, take the game at the pace that we deem you take it at, or get punished. Or else. I find that really silly. I really like games that let you play them however you like to play them. Like, that's why I really like games like freaking Awakening or Fates, where you can grind as much as you want whenever you want, do side activities as much as you want whenever you want, instead of freaking Three Houses that makes these timetables for you. And it's like, follow this schedule or else you're missing these opportunities forever, you know? I find that rather silly. Dorothea's just freaking dashing up there, is the thing. Oh yeah, I made Dorothea my dancer in this one because I think when I was like planning out builds and whatnot when it came to Fire Emblem Three Houses, I determined that, in my opinion, Yuri is the best possible dancer that you can get in this game, and second best is Dorothea. And I don't know if I'm going to be using any of the Ashen Wolves in this playthrough. So I just freaking made Dorothea the dancer for like second best. And I think in our second playthrough we had Felix as the dancer, and he was actually pretty good as the dancer. It was kind of funny. I liked it. But yeah, there are definitely a whole lot of other Fire Emblem games I'd like to do on this channel eventually, but they probably wouldn't be this year. But yeah, it definitely does. Like, we shouldn't have to worry about that on this playthrough, I don't think. Like, on this playthrough, I'm doing it on normal casual just so that we can bum rush through it and, like, not have to worry about a thing, essentially. So, you know, I'll probably just be doing, like, the auto, like, seminar thingamabobs, or, I might just be doing seminars, honestly, on, like, the, on the free days, and we should be fine. Like, because... yeah, normal casual really does feel like turn off your brain difficulty. Like, which thank goodness at this point. Like, it's funny because up to this point, every Fire Emblem game and playthrough we've done on this channel has always been on literally the hardest available difficulty. This is literally a first in this channel's history where we're not doing the hardest possible difficulty. We're instead doing the easiest possible difficulty. So... you know, there's that. There's that. I'm just gonna skip that there. Freaking Solon here is gonna get freaking smackarood. You're gonna miss. Well, there we go. There's the miss. But yeah, even though waking out higher difficulties forces min-max, at least you can take your time with it. Yeah, and I like that. I can do it like at my own pace, whatever. Instead of the game being like story mission. Here's 3 time slots for grinding. Story mission. Here's 3 time slots for grinding. Story mission. Freaking rinse repeat. Whoops, I accidentally hit the bumper with my leg. Honestly forgot that the divine pulse or whatever the heck was an option for a hot second there. So, my goodness, you're taking a weird route there, aren't you? Aren't you there? But yeah, one day after we're done with Fates, I would like to do Fire Emblem Echoes to complete the 3DS games. I might potentially do Gaiden before Echoes just to like play the original and then the remake. I've never played the original before. And, you know, from what I hear, it really seems like Echoes turned what was, for all intents and purposes, a very mediocre game into something absolutely incredible. And I want to freaking see that difference firsthand. So we might potentially do Gaiden into Echoes one day. Maybe. I wouldn't mind doing freaking Marth's games, and then when we're done with like that whole set, then we can do like a freaking very brief playthrough of Fire Emblem Warriors just for funsies, since I'd have, you know, done all the main games that are included within that game. Let's go ahead and auto battle is what we do here. Boopity bop like this. One day I'd love to do the Game Boy Advance Fire Emblem games. I'd love to do the GameCube and Wii Fire Emblem games, Ice Story. I've never played them before. I played a little smidge of Radiant Dawn actually, but forever ago, and I never actually got all the way through it. I would like to do that one day. And then if we ever get that far, then freaking that alone will be commendable. But like, you know, I've already got the plan for this year of this smidge of 3 houses. Triangle strategy for something different, something similar to Fire Emblem, but different. And then like Fate's Lunatic Classic. Or Fate's Conquest Lunatic Classic is the thing. Oh, when it comes to games that are similar to Fire Emblem, but different, I guess there was another game that we kind of took a break from Fire Emblem with last year. Was a thing with Dark Deity. I actually had a lot of fun with Dark Deity. It definitely wasn't perfect, but I actually had a pretty good time with that game. Just play FE1 on the Switch instead of the better DS version that they should have ported. You know, it's funny, you can't even buy FE1 on the Switch anymore because it was one of those time-limited things. I do have it, though. I do have it from that freaking collector's edition thingamabob that I got because I was like, well, it's got like some cool things in it, and I guess maybe I'd play FE1 on the channel one day. If I've thought that it might be like a guidance situation where maybe I do like FE1 on the Switch and then play Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon on the DS. I don't know. I don't know what my strategy would be. Maybe. What did I remind you of? What happened to me? I freaking played this game for 278 parts and 65 streams is a thing. By the way, if anybody ever is crazy enough to actually tune into like my whole Fire Emblem Three Houses series playlist, and it is going from like part 278 to this part, there are some things that are different that have happened since then. Like for one, there's a Jenga tower of binders over there behind the Dogi. That's what happens when I work from home. And thinking about new appearances, I have a freaking mustache. If anybody, you know, tuning into my Three Houses series for that long wonders where the mustache suddenly came from in the year since the Golden Deer playthrough, let's just say that this game being on my backlog has freaking aged me by 10 years. let's just put it that way. How about? Is what it is.
In that scenario,
It's so crazy to think that we started this playthrough 2.5 years ago.
Who would you?
I don't know. I don't care at this point, Edelgard. Honestly, I can't be bothered.
Professor, have you fallen asleep?
Yeah, already.
This must be a side effect of your
Well,
recent changes.
would I
can't
use
just
that for a
leave you.
freaking thumbnail? I'll probably use something else for a thumbnail anyway.
Shouldn't ask Hubert to carry you. So I suppose it falls to me.
Thanks. Thank you. Oh yeah, this bit. This is the bit where freaking you've passed a halo and then Ray is just gonna be like, I'm just gonna like sing you to continue to sleep or something. I don't think this is ever brought up again. I don't think. I mean, I've only done 3 of the 4 routes, so I technically don't have the full story yet. But I literally don't think this is ever brought up again, unless I'm losing my mind. Which I might potentially be.
Professor, you must
This is the freaking route where you become our main antagonist, isn't it?
Is all right. There is no need to
This is the route where we're like, yep, screw the Church of Saros, screw the other places, let's go fight them all. Is what this road is, so that's what we're gonna go do, and there's only 6 chapters after the time skip, so it shouldn't be that much to get through. I hope that I can do it in like 2 or 3 streams, honestly. Just like commit to it decently hard, and then it's done, and I never have to worry about it again. And it'll be such a freaking relief.
It would be for this moment to last forever.
I remember that line being in the trailers. I do not want this moment to last forever. I want this game done. It's felt like this game has lasted forever on this channel, considering it's been 2.5 years on and off. Oh man, a lot has happened to the channel since then. Like, for one, thanks all once again for freaking 10,000 subscribers. That's hella cool. That's a really cool development that's happened in the freaking years since since finishing the 3rd playthrough.
But you are so much more than the light.
Yeah, I'm one video gamer that's determined to see the playthroughs I do on this channel through to the end, even if it is stressing me out like this. I honestly wonder what I'm stressing out with more. Finishing off Fire Emblem Three Houses or finishing off the last smidges of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. Honestly, it might be the former. Probably why it took me a year before I finally got around to doing this. I would love to save. Thank you for asking. Let's get this done. Let's get in there, get it done.